Okay. And we're going to share. Let's see if I can get this to share here. Okay. Can you guys see this PowerPoint at the same time as you can see me?
Yes.
Oh, fabulous. Okay. Man, this is too fancy. We've got Facebook streaming live. We have this. We have PowerPoint. All right. And I've got two people helping me mute everybody. So if everybody can just help as well and try and get yourself muted when you come in the call, that would definitely help. All right. Great. Let me move this window down here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. A few minutes late, but we worked out the technical difficulties here. So hopefully y'all can see this PowerPoint displaying. It's just got some wonderful stories in there from people who've been using the healing and having some pretty amazing results. So it's just going to be scrolling through while I talk initially. I just want to go ahead. It's 8:07. Let's get started. I want to be super respectful of everyone's time tonight. And I'm going to let this run for a few more minutes and then turn this off so you can we can see each other a little bit better. But my goal for tonight is for us to spend a little over an hour together. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I see this evening going. Obviously, we're here to talk about the Healy. And you can see these personal experiences flashing up here. For me, those are incredibly moving. And that's really why I wanted those to be showing. This is really what Healy is all about: improving the quality of our lives, allowing us to have less pain, more comfort, less anxiety, more peace, less distraction, more focus, less uncertainty, more calmness and trust. So how does one little device do that? The Healy is very cutting edge. It uses quantum physics, it analyzes, it heals your individual and your specific bioenergetic frequencies. So this is a device that can literally read your individual frequencies, and then it can offer solutions that address all aspects of the body. So this is your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your chakras, your meridians, your bioenergetic balance, your nutritional balance. It's really incredible. It's FDA cleared class 2 medical device. It's a wearable device, smaller than a cell phone, controlled by a cell phone app, crazy powerful, in something that you can literally carry like with the clip or in your pocket. So it's based on the scientifically proven concept, right, that humans are only as healthy as their cells are, and as their cells' ability to communicate with one another. So this ability to communicate with one another is really determined by the electrical cell membrane voltage. And in a state of disease, there's almost always a reduced voltage of this cell membrane. So that's getting pretty sciencey, and I'm not going to get much deeper in that. You probably saw the whole cell membrane voltage appearing on this slideshow. Hopefully that's going through them, some of these different testimonials here. But for now, we're just going to say that basically frequencies are the language that cells use to communicate with one another. Frequencies can be assigned to certain symptoms, and then we can use those frequencies to address the symptoms. So that's what the Healy does. It just does it in a really powerful, really efficient way. So that being said, we all know why we're here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I see this evening going. First, I just want to introduce myself, let you know who I am, why I'm even inspired to share this with y'all. Second thing I want to do is to play a little 6-minute video that I think really introduces you to Healy in a very powerful way, much more interesting than me just sitting here giving you the overview. Third, I want to show you some details on how to get one. And as you get to know me, you're going to see that self-empowerment is really one of my three passions or pillars, whatever you want to call it in life. So I do not want you to walk away from this with just a bunch of theory. I want you to have something practical that you can do in your life right now to make it even better right now. And the fourth thing I'm going to do is to show you some more details around the Healy, what makes it very different than the other frequency healing devices that are out there, why I think it's personally worth 10 times the price tag they put on it, and why they made it as affordable as they did. And then lastly, I'm going to introduce you to Jamie. Jamie Close, he spent the last 27 years as a healer in various forms. He's a transformational body coach, a personal trainer, a nutritionist, a massage therapist, a spiritual healer. But really, over the last 6 months, he has devoted his time to working with hundreds of clients using the Healy. He's run thousands of programs. He's seen some pretty amazing things. And he's got an engineering brain like me, which I love. He's got both sides of the brain going on. And he's created a really amazing platform using Facebook to educate about the Healy, how to use it, how to share it in a very efficient way. And efficiency is my second passion. So he's going to share some of those personal experiences, some personal stories of people whose lives, including his own mom, have changed significantly from using the Healy. And that's really what this is all about, right? It's improving the quality of our lives. So my goal is to bring Jamie on at about the 1 hour mark, have him talk for about 15 minutes, and then open it up to some Q&A. So if you do have questions during the call, you can ask them in the chat window. I'm not going to be monitoring that during the talk, but we do have somebody who is, and then they can compile that for when we do the Q&A section. But my main goal really is that within the first 30 to 40 minutes, you're going to have all the info you need to know if this resonates with you or not, and to empower you to really put one in your hands. But I am going to ask you this. As you're listening tonight, you're going to know deep inside if this is right for you right now. Trust that intuition. If you're amazed by the technology, but you're just not ready for whatever reason to bring it into your life, just listen with an open ear, curiosity to who you know that maybe this is the right time and place for. And maybe that's why you're here tonight. Maybe it's to change somebody else's life. To tell them, hey, listen to this video. I just heard you popped into my mind or my heart, and I think I have a message for you. So keep that in mind tonight. And without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to stop this. I don't know if this is actually rotating or not on the screen. Can y'all see me okay? Everybody? Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead though and stop this screen sharing so we can see each other a little bit better. Okay. All right. So my name is Jen Boggs. I live in Virginia Beach, in Virginia, about 2 blocks away from the Edgar Cayce Center, the ARE Center. Maybe many of you have probably heard of that. But I'm from South Carolina. My sister lives in Sydney, Australia. And I love to travel. I've traveled over 40 countries. I speak Spanish. I've worked in Spain, Chile, Mexico, run an e-commerce delivery department in Zurich, Switzerland. I love to travel, and I believe that our world is really shrinking. And I love that tonight we have people from all over the world, from many countries joining us. So first of all, welcome. We're glad you're here. I am a 43-year-old mom of a 4.5-year-old, and that is really my main role right now. Probably the most important one I've ever had. And when Nate was about a year old, I was introduced to 2 concepts that really changed our lives. I listened to a talk by Bruce Lipton. Many of you know him. He's the brilliant cellular biologist. He's a leader in the field of epigenetics. He wrote The Biology of Belief, and that really revolutionized our understanding of biology, explaining that beliefs have tremendous power over the expression of our genes. We're not just prisoners of our genes, right? It's not just our DNA, but our health is determined by which genes are turned on and off, and that's very closely tied to our beliefs. So that's some powerful stuff. You've probably heard of the placebo effect, right? With traditional medicine, even modern medicine realizes that our beliefs about a treatment have a huge impact on the treatment itself. So I heard a talk that he had given about the first 6 years of a child's life, how they're in theta brainwave state, basically being programmed, their subconscious beliefs. That theta state is where we go in hypnosis, and that's why hypnosis is so powerful to change our beliefs. But we live about 95% of our day from those subconscious beliefs. So that really made me devote myself to really analyzing what subconscious beliefs I was living from. Beliefs of lack, scarcity, fear, sickness, and to do a lot of personal work around those for my sake, but also knowing that our children really don't learn from our words, they learn from our example. And why do I share that with you? Because the Healy addresses not just our physical selves, but it addresses our emotional health. And it really can help open us up for those inner transformations. And I think many of us are working on that right now. So the Healy is really key in all of that. Before Nate, I had 39 years living in a different role, right? Or identity, as many of you have gone through many identities in your life. I graduated with a degree in industrial engineering from Clemson University. Maybe many of you have heard of that from all of our football wins lately. I had a full scholarship there and I graduated #1 in my class. And I only tell you that because I am owning that I am a complete dork. Okay, I am saying it publicly, I am a dork. I love science, I love math. And when I heard of industrial engineering, it just resonated with me very deeply because it's about efficiency, process improvement, the practical uses of science and technology to improve our lives. And that is very relevant to tonight because I am not a salesperson. I do not have a sales bone in my body. I admire people who can do that. I just don't have it. But I do love to share. And when I find something that is very efficient at improving my life, I want to tell everybody about it. And that's what really motivated me to step out of this mom role that I've been defined by for the last few years and to do this talk. Because I think that the Healy is an incredibly efficient way to make some really huge improvements in the quality of our lives. So one last thing I'm going to tell you before we start really diving into the Healy, and I feel like it's relevant because I was very fortunate growing up to be very healthy, but I struggle with a lot of allergies. I did the whole allergy shot thing. I took Benadryl every day. And then just after college, my dad introduced me to a book, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. Thank you, Dad. You're on this call, I think, by Dr. Batman-Gellage. And it really opened my eyes to just how important our bodies, the food, the nutrition, the water, the vitamins, the minerals that we're putting into it are. And I made some shifts after that. I loved the scientific explanation of why hydration can affect every system of our body. And it really started me on this new path because unfortunately, nutrition is a subject that you just don't really hear about at the doctor. In fact, I've heard that they have like one nutrition class in their whole academic program. And I get it. That's not their course of study. But this book really showed me that it's possible to have a very scientific and yet alternative approach to our health. It can be both. And I think the Healy really fits into that category. So in my mid-30s, when my husband and I were ready to start a family, I just knew I was going to get pregnant right away. I was slim, I was healthy. And as the years ticked by, I realized there's a lot more factors going into this. And I started to really empathize with people who were going through similar health struggles, whether it was fertility or a whole host of other things. So I began to explore a lot of other areas of healing, chiropractic, acupuncture, both of which are obviously a lot about energy and unrestricted energy flow in the body. And that's what the Healy is so key in. But nutrition, meditation, yoga as a way of really allowing our bodies to return from the fight or flight, the sympathetic nervous system, to our rest and digest, our parasympathetic nervous system. Bruce Lipton talks about that. We're either in growth mode or protection mode, right? And that's ultimately determined by whether we're in fear or we're in love. So after 5 years, I was kind of out of options. I went to see the top 2 fertility doctors in the area and was told by both, after doing 6 failed IUIs, all the shots, etc., that there was no way that I was going to get pregnant without doing in vitro. And that was very difficult news for me, because obviously, right, I was scared. I have huge admiration for for women who have gone through it. I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to pain. All the hormone injections, all of that was very scary. And right about that time, some girlfriends of mine, I promise there's a point to this story and then we're going to move on. But right about that time, some girlfriends of mine asked me to teach them about essential oils. And in my typical dorking out researching way, right, how to find the best ones on the market, how to use them, how powerful they can be, blah, blah, blah. Made a deal with my husband. I'd give it 3 months to do this sort of oil regimen for supporting our hormone balance. And if it didn't work, we do in vitro. And on the last day of those 3 months, I was pregnant. And that gives me goosebumps still telling that story. And I've been very fortunate over the last few years that I've had oils and oil infused supplements. It's pretty much what we turn to for everything. But this is not a talk about oils. You're welcome to jump into my Liquid Aloha Facebook group if you want to dork out and hear those talks on oils. But the reason I'm telling you this tonight is for twofold. And it's the last thing I'm going to tell you before we watch the Healy video. 1, for those of you out there who are listening to this, who have not yet explored anything holistic or alternative, maybe that story can provide some hope for you too. Some inspiration of just how powerful the right, pure healing modality can be for you. Even if you've been told by a medical practitioner that it's impossible, whatever you have, it's impossible to change it, it's not. And I'm going to say that again, it's not impossible. The second reason I share that story is that for those of you who are well along on this holistic path, I think you're probably with me that we're always growing, we're always open to what advances there are in science, technology, spirituality, what they can bring to the table. And even though I thought, oh, I'm good, I have all the tools I need, I'm set, this came along. It completely complements and enhances what I already have. It's just mind-blowing to me how the Healy truly is a multi-dimensional healing device that doesn't just incorporate the body, but the mind and the spirit. And I can just wear it around during the day, like in my pocket. It's crazy. So let's do it. I'm going to show you first a 6-minute video. It explains what the Healy is. And I think it's going to give you a great introduction to that. So let's see if I can get that to come up here. So go back to my Zoom call. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay, but that's not the window I want to share. So give me a second here. All that help around figuring out how to do the new Facebook or the password meant my window disappeared with my YouTube video. Sorry about that. So give me a second to find that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so give me some nods if you can see this video playing and hear it. Let's stop this music.
Healy.
Thank you, Zach. Thanks.
One of the greatest inventors of all time, Nikola Tesla, the genius who lit the world, once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Say you are listening to the radio in your car and do not like the music that you are hearing. What do? You change the frequency. What many people fail to realize is that we can take charge of our frequencies in the exact same way. We tend to reduce our body's anatomy down to a simplified version that consists of only flesh and blood. But everything on this planet, animals, plants, and water, are made of atoms, which produce, emit, and receive energy, which operates at a specific frequency. Everything, all our tissues, cells, organs, emotions, and thought patterns have their own unique electromagnetic fields, as do allergens, viruses, or bacteria. All things have a frequency, including you, the human body. It has been shown that a normal person has a frequency of 62 to 72 megahertz. When the body drops below this frequency, we begin to get into illness and disease states. For example, if our frequency drops to 58 megahertz, then we are likely to get a cold or flu. If our frequency drops to 42 megahertz, we become susceptible to cancer within the body. The lower the frequency, the closer we are to death. Healy is an ingenious invention designed to provide frequencies that support your health, body, and well-being, with an intuitive app that puts the future into your hands. Welcome to Healy World. To give you an overview of what Healy can do for you, and to make sure that you get what you really need, we have put together a collection of frequencies in pages and modules in the form of different editions, so you can find your Healy. The Healy Analysis app, Resonance, and Aura models. With the analysis feature of the resonance, doctors, practitioners, and many others can support their clients or patients if necessary. If you are with your friends or at home, you can activate the app, but we recommend working with a trained practitioner for the analysis. Another useful tool in resonance is the Aura module. Healy lets you analyze the energy distribution of your 7 chakras and can point out suitable ways of optimization. You glow in my heart. You glow in my heart. Take me to a new world. So I bring you love is where I feel my life is. You glow in my heart. You glow in my heart. Glow in my heart.
Hi, and welcome to Healy World. A wave of smart wearable devices have already entered the market to monitor everything from fitness and health to the physical environment. These tiny devices can track vital signs, sleep, emotions, stress, breathing, movement, and send or receive messages and alerts through text, audible sounds, and even colors. As with any connected device, this information is then shared via wireless signals, such as Bluetooth to a smartphone. Healy is a smart device conceived in cooperation with doctors and practitioners that uses frequencies to stimulate specific areas of the body. Designed to support you during the day, Healy can increase your vitality, help you stay fit, and bioenergetically regenerated in less than 21 minutes. No more tracking, just carrying. Healy can be used as a medical device for pain treatment, depression, anxiety, and sleep disorders. Unfortunately, some applications are not recognized by conventional medicine due to lack of evidence, and the fact that we are ahead of our time. Anyway, Healy offers you individual programs that can support you in the following areas: pain, psyche, sleep, cold cycle, mental balance, job, skin, learning, fitness, beauty, meridians, chakras, bioenergetic balance, protection programs. How do you feel today? Healy.
The social selling revolution, made in Germany. Become a Healy World member today. Always the right frequency for life. The Healy is a wearable that uses individually determined frequencies to stimulate specific areas of your body. By regularly using the selected frequency programs, the Healy should help to bring the cell membrane voltage back to a natural level. The future is in your hands.
All right. Close that. Okay, so hopefully that came through for everybody okay. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but the first time I saw that video, I was like, done. I want it. Okay, I need this. Sometimes you see something and you're just like, yes, please. So anyway, if you felt that way too, I'm going to try and tell you tonight, listen to your intuition, right? Use your brain like my engineering mind, but also use your heart knowledge and your intuition. That's my third pillar of passion, which is authenticity. So to me, that means knowing you have your answers. You know what's right for you. You don't have to understand everything about it. I mean, this is crazy science, right? You use your iWatch. You don't know anything about how it works. You just know it works. You use your iPhone. I have no clue how that works, but I depend on it. So you don't have to understand everything about it. You don't have to convince your best friend or your spouse or your children that it works. If you are inspired, get it. See how it works. They'll see it works. No one has to fully comprehend this. That takes far genius beyond me anyway. So I do have to say, I am very grateful, right, for that message through this motherhood journey. I have been introduced to some really amazing authors, Shefali Sabara, Brene Brown, Glennon Doyle, who've really shown me the power of each of us living from our authentic selves. So that means you don't need confirmation from a friend if it's right for you. And that to me is, again, something very amazing about this device. It is about bringing each of us back to ourselves, not putting our health and our healthcare decisions in the hands of somebody else. Even if that person is a trained medical professional, they do not know everything going on in your life right now. They do not know all the pieces. They have 15 minutes with you, 30 an hour if you're hugely lucky. And yes, their perspective and knowledge is invaluable, and it is a big piece of the puzzle, and I am so grateful for their knowledge. But I also realize it's not the full puzzle. And to me, that's what Healy does, is it really addresses all pieces of this puzzle. So here we are. I promised you the third thing we were going to do is to talk about self-empowerment. I'm not going to make you wait till the end like some sales talk to tell you how much this costs, how to get one. I told you I'm about sharing. I'm not about selling. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the options. I'm going to tell you what they cost, and then you can decide what's right for you. So I'm going to try and share a document with some slides so you can get the visual here. Okay. There's a lot of windows open here. There we go. Okay. So let me know if you cannot see this PowerPoint with Einstein. Can everybody see that? Okay. Awesome. All right. So yeah, one more thing that I was going to show you before we look at the additions. I just love this quote by Albert Einstein. I had to share it. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. Now, Einstein lived, this was 100 years ago, right? When he won the Nobel Prize for Physics. So we have known this for a long time. But now, today with quantum physics, we can finally prove it. Here's another good one. Concerning matter, we have been all wrong. What we have called matter is really energy, whose vibration has been lowered as to be perceivable to the senses. There is no matter. There is only light and sound. Love that. So this, I had to share a little bit more science. love this slide because basically we all know the human body is composed of many systems: circulatory, respiratory, digestive, hormonal, blah, 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 nervous, endocrine. Okay, but what makes these systems? Tissues and organs. What are those made of? Cells. What are those made of? Molecules. What makes a molecule? Atoms. What makes an atom? Subatomic particles. And what makes a subatomic particle? Energy. So at the very leading edge of biophysics today, as it says, scientists are recognizing that the molecules in our bodies are actually controlled by energy. And we're showing that now with quantum physics. And that brings me to another true genius, the inventor of the Healy, Marcus Schmieke. He is totally open on that next level. He understands quantum physics concepts I can't even fathom listening to his YouTube talks. I don't even understand it. He studied physics, philosophy, but then he was a monk for 12 years. So, I mean, he truly has both sides of the brain. If you're into that, I encourage you to listen to the YouTube interview with him describing his obviously sincere passion for combining science and spirituality. I mean, it's amazing. But the first device that he invented was the time waver. And that is what the Healy is based off of, right? Now, this was back in 2007, so about 13 years ago. It's being used in Europe by over 2,000 practitioners. They're large, the size of a laptop. They need a laptop to run, special software, special training, and they're pretty expensive. Last quote I saw was 31,000 US dollars. Yeah, 31,000 US dollars. Don't worry, the Healy is nowhere near that. But that is the technology that this is based on. So, I don't want to go back there quite yet. But after a few years of this being on the market, right, Marcus goes, okay, this is amazing. He's helping a lot of people, but he wants more people to be helped. This has to be more practical. This has to be a lot more affordable. So he synchronistically connects with this man on the screen, Christian Halper. He's an entrepreneur, a conscious entrepreneur. He invests in sustainable technologies. He sees how powerful this Healy can be for humanity. And he says, I want to invest in this. He invests over $100 million. $100 million. Marcus spends the next few years developing a way to really put this technology, the majority of the functionality, now clearly he can't put all of it in there, but into something small that it's in your palm, it's accessible to everybody, and that's the Healy. So then he goes, okay, well, how are people going to know how awesome this is, right? Are they going to just trust seeing something online and spending money on it? And because this man is totally in the flow and open to all these synchronicities and coincidences, whatever you want to call them, he connects with another genius in another field, Dirk Zalman, who says, use social selling or direct sales, network marketing. There's lots of names for it, because people are going to listen to their friends. And they might be reluctant to buy something unknown online, but if their friend has one and it has substantially helped them, we're going to trust that, right? And we're going to buy it. And so that's how he could basically accomplish his dream of getting this into 100 million households. And honestly, I think the timing of that really couldn't be more perfect with what's going on, unfortunately, in the world right now. To be able to use frequency to address our immune systems, to support those, our emotional health. I know for me, my emotions have been on a roller coaster with everything going on in the world. So this is incredibly timely. And there's a lot of people who, unfortunately, right now are concerned about their jobs. They've either lost them, they don't know what it's going to look like once the economy opens back up. And there is an aspect of this that can provide an income for them sharing something that they really love. And I think that's a dream for a lot of us, right? Is to be able to earn a living doing something meaningful that we actually like. So here we go. This is the Healy. So you can see in here from the picture, it is smaller than a cell phone. Okay. It's wearable. You can put it around your neck on a lanyard. It has a clip that you can just attach to your collar, to your pocket. And it's controlled by your cell phone app, which is genius. You don't need a laptop. You don't need something bulky. I think we all have our cell phones on us all the time. And that's really all you need. And it's easy. I love that, right? 3 steps. You download the app. I think we've all downloaded an app or two. You sync the Healy with your phone, uses Bluetooth. And then third, you start a frequency program. Pretty straightforward. So how long are they? They could be a minute, they could be 20 minutes, they could be an hour. There's typically a recommendation on the program, but you can ultimately decide how long you want to run it for. A lot of people use self-muscle testing for that, your intuition, but there is a guideline that you can simply follow as well for how long to run a program for. And the cool thing is that once it's running, I mean, you can certainly sit there or you can just go about your day. So that to me as a very busy mom is pretty awesome. So this is how you use it. It comes with wrist electrodes, it comes with ear electrodes and adhesive electrodes. Now the ear electrodes are not approved in the US yet, so the other ones are. So in the US, we're not gonna get the ear electrodes. When you choose a program to run, it's gonna tell you what to use and where to put them. But here's something that I think is pretty incredible. We know energy is not contained right there in that electrode, right? So many people are actually using it without the electrodes. I mean, the frequency is being delivered through this device, right? So yes, it's more targeted through that. And if you have acute pain, it's great to put that on there. But when you think about it, right, this is also benefiting the people sitting around you, your children, your pets. I have a friend who was using this, and she noticed that her cats and her dog were always coming around whenever she was using it, right? And sitting on the sofa. And after a few days of running programs, her cat was jumping up and down on the sofa like it was nothing. Now, this is a cat that had arthritis and can barely get up and down, okay, at all. So it's pretty cool that those around us are also benefiting when we do the treatment. I think it's officially now important to mention, officially cleared for 18 and over. I know for me, I am really excited about the secondary benefits that my son is going to get when I'm running a program, but obviously how you choose to run it in your home is up to you. Again, self-empowerment, you do what feels right for you, but obviously we respect the professional recommendations. So another really cool thing, how many do you need? One. This is amazing. So your whole family can actually use one. The Healy lets you enter multiple, they're called clients, right? The client can be, you can see on here when you add a client, it can be a family member, it can be a pet, and it's going to keep track of each client and what scans were done on who. So then you can go back and look at the history, you can rerun programs. And it's called clients because yes, I mean, obviously a lot of us are looking to this for individual use, but there's also a lot of practitioners that are using this in their business with their clients. This is way more economical than the $31,000 time waiver. And it's a really efficient way that many different therapists can enhance their session with their clients, whether that's massage therapists, acupuncturists, yoga studios, chiropractors. I mean, really anybody who gets that this sort of healing can complement and enhance what they're already doing. So let's check out the Healy editions. Okay, so the Healy comes in 4 editions, and they're all the same device. Okay, it's just about the functionality that they have. That's the only difference. The first one is called the Healy Gold, and I'm going to read to you what this slide, excuse me, what this slide says. All the Healy editions contain its pain-relieving microcurrent applications for local, acute, and chronic pain and muscle soreness. In addition, the Healy Gold edition has the Gold Cycle frequency programs. And I'm going to explain that Gold Cycle in a second, okay? But you can see on here the 7 programs that are listed. And it's really important. I want you to understand how powerful this base Healy Gold can be because these programs are in every model. So the first one is the Pure. And that says designed to support recovery from negative environmental influences, toxins, and the effects of an improper diet. Okay, hold on a second. I'm trying to figure out why my screen is not letting me move this. Give me 1 second here. Okay, there we go. So this one's kind of like a detox program, if you will, okay? And many functional medicine doctors out there agree, right, that the root of most chronic diseases is nutritional deficiency or toxicity. I've spent a lot of time studying this on my own, realizing that most of the products that we use every day to clean with, for our skin care, our face care, our makeup, it's toxic. It's a whole nother talk. Okay, I've already done that talk. It's in my other Facebook group. But the point is, we have to switch to get off of those non-toxic products. But once they're in, we have to find ways to get these toxins out. And that's what this program supports, is getting them out. So this is a huge program. The second one is care, strengthening your bioenergetic field. Third, balance, your physical balance. Fourth, being, your emotional balance. Yep, I'll take some emotional balance. Yes, please. Fifth, energy. So this is about supporting your performance. It's great for athletes. It's great for us non-athletes who are going to the gym or yoga or pickleball. Or perhaps, like just in the morning instead of a second cup of coffee, maybe after your lunch slump. So I love that one. Sixth one, relax, obviously, relaxation. 7, release, and that's for pain. And then you get one extra program group that you get to choose from when you decide to get the Healy Gold. So I'm going to talk and explain what this gold stuff means, right? What's a gold program? So the gold frequencies are based on the work of a man called Nuno Nina. He's a Portuguese integrative medicine specialist. He's an expert in cell biology. He has 7 private clinics in Europe. He's helped thousands of patients over the last 2 decades using frequency healing. He developed these 144,000 gold frequencies, that's what they're called, through his work with over 45,000 patients, right? And he assigned these particular frequencies to specific disease patterns. And these 144,000 frequencies are found in every Healy, every single Healy, including this gold edition. And I want to bring back up the pain section of this, because I think for many people, pain is really the focus of their lives, unfortunately. And when you're in pain, it's really hard to focus on anything else. I have a really good friend that's in a lot of pain, and I've seen this firsthand. For me, if the Healy did nothing but address pain, it's worth it. But that's just one of the many, many things that it does. And I want to also, with that in mind, bring up the Healy is a Class 2 medical device. It's cleared by the FDA. I'm going to read what it says. This device is designed to be used for temporary relief of pain associated with sore and aching muscles in the shoulder, waist, back, and legs due to strain from exercise or normal household work activities, and for the symptomatic relief and management of chronic intractable pain and relief of pain associated with arthritis. And yes, I see that spelling error. I can't stand spelling errors. So I think that's pretty huge, though, really, that we're FDA cleared for that. And we know that the Healy does lots of things, but it's pretty cool to have that. All right. So now I'm going to tell you about the next 3 Healy editions. Healy Gold was the first. Second is the Healy Holistic Health, then the Holistic Health Plus, and then the Resonance. So the difference, again, is just the functionality they have, the number of programs. So the one on the top left, the Healy Holistic Health, it has the Nuno Nina Gold Cycles, has the pain programs, and it has 8 more. Local stimulation, bioenergetic balance 1 and 2, mental balance, meridians 1 and 2. So that's really cool, right? About our meridians, keeping that energy flowing. I love that. Sleep. Yes, thank you. The sleep program is amazing. And skin. The 3rd edition, right, if we move to the Holistic Health Plus, that has everything from the previous 2, and it has 6 more program pages. Learning, fitness, so there you go for for the athletes out there. Job, I think most of us can use some help on that. Beauty, chakras, and the protection programs. Protection programs, extremely timely right now. They basically provide extra protection from environmental influences. So this one has 120 Healy programs. It has 16 program pages. So pretty much that has all the programs. So what does this resonance have? The top model. I'm going to show you a separate page because the resonance is incredible. It has everything that those have, and it has 3 extra things that are huge. The biggest thing it has is what they call the quantum sensor. Okay, and this is what separates the resonance, and this is what separates the Healy from pretty much anything I've ever seen. It's reading your bioenergetic frequency right now, right here. And then it's going to send that to the Healy cloud. It's going to match it with what would be the best frequency for you to receive right now. And then it's going to send it to you. I mean, that like for me is mind blowing. And I've probably said mind blowing 100 times at this point. I'm sorry. I'm really excited. That's like my word. But this is really exciting for me. So I have seen this sort of concept, right, on a small scale, like with the Zyto, but I have never seen it on this sort of scale. Honestly, it's kind of unbelievable to me, except listening to some of those videos with Marcus Schmika, the inventor. I mean, he's just a genius. Like, he just understands these things that I don't even know how you do. But anyway, kind of to me, it puts him on that league with these other genius inventors and discoverers who just say, you know, they didn't discover anything, right? They were inspired. These thoughts came to them in these moments of inspiration. So, okay, back to the resonance. What else does the resonance have? The quantum sensor, and then it has this Heal Advisor Analyze app. And you can see that on the top right, what the screen looks like. It has the resonance analysis and the aura analysis. This is only in this resonance model, a resonance edition. The resonance module is the resonance analysis there. That's what's going to use the quantum sensor, right? Quantum sensor is going to see which frequencies, what your bioenergetic field is right now. And then this resonance analysis is what's going to match that up and deliver those frequencies to you in a program, one of those programs that we just saw on the different program pages. And it's going to deliver that to you right now. The aura analysis is so cool. It basically, I got to show you the next picture actually. So it shows you the energy in each of your chakras. It gives you a written report to help you understand what issues you're experiencing right now, what's tied to each chakra. It was fascinating. The first one I did, it was spooky. I was like, how in the world does it know this about me? I was reading the chakras one. I won't even go into, we don't even have the time to go into what all it said. I was like, how does it know that? But then it, even better, determines the programs that you can run to reach your desired state, right? To really improve that energy flow, and then you can run them. They call this the information field, and this is really how the Healy can address our emotional and our mental connection to disease. I mean, I just haven't seen anything else like that. So you can see here a picture, some of the pictures it gives you. It has all the 7 chakras and then a total. It has your written analysis. So pretty cool. Okay, so how much are they? Alrighty, so time waiver, 31,000. We're not in that ballpark, but I'm grateful because this has so much of the functionality that the time waiver does. The Healy for the top version, 2,500. The base 3, 500, 1,000, 1,500. Now the numbers are less than that. I use those round numbers because it's easy for me to remember, and that's about what it is with tax. But to me, that shocks me, honestly. And before I listened to Marcus and the other conscious investor Christian talk, I really would not have understood that. But listening to them talk, I get it. They really want this in everybody's hands. I know when I look at that, the amount of money and time I spend going to practitioners, just myself, not even my family members, that's pretty crazy. Don't even really want to look at my budget and realize how many other things I spend more than $2,500 on. I think possibly my cowboy boot collection. I might have a slight line dancing addiction. But point being, this is a one-time purchase, and then you can use it for years, and then everyone in your family can use it. So pretty amazing to me what they've done with. And so I wanted to share with you something they do offer, a program called Fast Start. Pretty amazing. Basically what that means is that if somebody right now wants to start with the basic model, pay the 500 or the 4 whatever, and 500 with tax, and get the next edition, If within your first 30 days, you share this with 3 people, family, friends, whoever, who purchase any edition, they're going to send you a free upgrade. Upgrading is basically what it means to go from one edition to the next. It's just a software upgrade. You don't have to send in your device. It's not a new device. It's just tied to your account, right? So that you get additional functionality that gets, accessible by your device. If you share it with 3 more people in that same 30 days, you get another free upgrade. So if you did share it with 9 people, you could go all the way from the base model up to the top model. Fast Start is available in any country. It doesn't have to be the US. It's available for any member. They did make this even more accessible, which is pretty crazy to me. I've never seen a company do this. Basically, if you buy nothing or a watch, right, which is 200 and something, if you refer 3 people who buy one of the top 2 models, the Holistic Health Plus or the Resonance, they're going to send you a free gold. I mean, I haven't heard of that. Like, how can you buy nothing and get a free gold? And you get the commission and you earn the cash bonuses that are involved with Fast Start. So they're really not in it for the money. I mean, I've never seen somebody that sincere. So that kind of blows me away with that. The last piece of Fast Start, if you buy a Resonance, I know I started with the Resonance. I want the quantum sensor. I want all that functionality. If you buy a Resonance and then you refer 3 people who buy any model, any edition, you're going to get a free Resonance. Now, again, this is your first 30 days, right? That's why it's called Fast Start. That to me is huge. I know family members can share. I'm a wee bit particular. I like to have my own. I like to know it's charged. I like to keep it clean. So I love this because now I have a free Resonance for my husband. Pretty cool. So if you want more details on that, that's beyond the scope of tonight. I just wanted to introduce it to you. But we do have a Facebook group that walks through all of that very simply. It's not complicated. And there are no monthly commitments that you have to make. It truly depends on what you want to do month to month, if you want to refer this to a friend or not. So if you'd like to be in that group, just let us know. I'm going to show you this slide here. These are the 3 groups that Jamie has started, and they're amazing. The Healy Effect, the one at the bottom, is really for anyone who just wants to learn about the Healy. The Healy Effect Customers is a group that you get upgraded to once you purchase your Healy, and it has step-by-step walkthrough videos, units, files, how to use your Healy, step-by-step. So it's pretty amazing to have that sort of hand-holding. It's pretty awesome. And then the Healy Effect Conscious Leaders, and that's a group that obviously once you have your Healy, if you would like to know more information on Fast Start or what the commission is or how to share this and earn an income, then you can go into that group, and that's specifically for that sort of conversation. All right. And I did forget to mention, there is a 14-day money-back guarantee on the Healy. So that's pretty cool. Really, if for some reason you actually get this and don't like it, which is kind of unheard of, you can send it back absolutely free, get all your money back. So, all right. I think you have everything you need right now to change your world. So if you want to get off, go order it. You're welcome to sign off. I know a few of you want some more details. You're like me, keep dorking out, Jen. I have 3 small more pieces that I can share with you, and then we're going to turn it over to Jamie. I think I'm about 10 minutes over where I wanted to be, but we're going to wrap this up in the next 10 minutes and then let Jamie talk to you. So here's some more dorked out details for you. I'm going to tell you how this device compares to other microcurrency devices that are out on the market, like Rife, FSM. I'm going to show you the digital nutrition app, which is super cool. It's a way that the Healy can monitor from a nutritional standpoint what you're deficient in, and then even create a custom grocery list for you. I love that, love that. And then third, the Healy Watch, which integrates with the Healy. It's amazing. It has all the functionality of a smartwatch, okay? So it can do all your smartwatch stuff, but it can also monitor your bioenergetic field all day long and make recommendations throughout the day of what you could be running to support you. Love that. Love that for myself, for athletes, for anybody. So those are the three things I'm going to tell you about, and then we're going to turn this over to Jamie. So first slide here. Many of you have either owned other devices like the Rife, the FSM, frequency-specific microcurrent devices. Three main differences, okay, between the Healy and those. The first one is the actual frequencies that they use. Healy has a much larger range of frequencies. FSM, I took this chart, a little confusing, but hopefully you can understand as we move up, we're going to higher and higher frequencies, okay? So if we look at the bottom, the FSM, frequency-specific microcurrent, that uses frequencies that are all below 1,000 hertz or 1 kilohertz, okay? So it's a small range. The Rife, the original Rife now, it uses frequencies from 8,000 to 16,000 hertz. So that's 8 kilohertz and 16 kilohertz. I understand there's some on the market now that do more than that. The Healy goes from 0.5 hertz to 10 megahertz. Okay, that's 10 million hertz. That's 10,000 kilohertz. So it includes all of the others. And that's really why it can target problems, not just on the physical level, but the emotional and the mental level. So the Healy, it contains all the Rife frequencies, all of them, and it contains all the FSM ones. And Dr. Carolyn McMakin, who probably many of you have heard of, she's the foremost FSM practitioner in the United States. She's actually a part of our medical advisory board. You can see our board here. So she's actually helped make sure that all of those FSM protocols are in the Healy, and that's really cool. You can see our advisory board, though. We have doctors, we have chiropractors, medical doctors. It's really phenomenal to have the genius there behind this product, making it even better. So the second difference between the Healy and these other devices is that the other devices really just run simple programs. There's no feedback. You choose which program and you run it, period. With the Healy, it's actually analyzing the right frequencies for you in real time in your field. So we know every organ has its own frequency, its own magnetic field. We call that the bioenergetic field, right? The quantum sensor in the Healy measures the bioenergetic field, and then it uses the same frequencies and currents as your own body to balance your bioenergetic field. So you don't even have to choose which program to run. It is choosing it for you. So huge, huge difference. Third difference is that it's very small. It's portable. I mean, this thing is smaller than a cell phone. So you can have it on while you're going about your day-to-day life. You don't have to have this huge device sitting at home. You're at work, you get a headache. You're out, playing your sports and you feel something. It is there with you in your purse, in your briefcase. Like, it's awesome. So those are the three main differences. Second piece of the puzzle, digital nutrition app. Have to mention this. We call it DNA for short, obviously different than the other DNA. Basically, this is going to give you recommendations for nutrition frequency programs, food recommendations, a shopping list. It's basically analyzing what you're deficient in, okay? And then it can deliver to your body these nutritional frequencies. And even beyond that, then once you go and eat those yourself, right, it's actually helping you better absorb those substances from the food. To me, that's very profound. I take a lot of supplements. I think it's very challenging to get the nutrition that we need from our food right now. That's another talk, my other Facebook group. But I'm excited about this because I get to know what I'm still deficient in, if anything, right? And then I can receive those frequency. And then I get to decide, am I going to continue taking these? Maybe I can actually get it down to a core few group of supplements instead of so many that I'm taking, knowing that my body is better absorbing them now. And then I can let go of some of the extras. So I love this. This app does work on a subscription basis. The Healy, you can buy it, never pay another cent, right? Never another cost. You can use it for years. to use the digital nutrition app, there is a small monthly fee to pay for that. And that's all that is in the website and in our Facebook group. Uh-oh, we got some feedback here. Hold on a second. Okay. Thank you. So, okay, hold on, let me go back here. Okay, this is just given another picture of the digital nutrition app. My mouse is frozen. There we go. Okay, pretty much covered that. Okay, Healy Watch. Love this. Okay, so this Healy Watch is basically measuring your body signals throughout the day. It's coming up with recommendations for frequency programs that you can run. It actually does work with or without the Healy device. It has all sorts of programs that you can use. Here's some other, you can see on this slide what the app looks like on your cell phone. You can see on this slide some of the other things that it's doing. It's measuring your heart rate, your sleep patterns, your breathing. And then, of course, it does all the typical smartwatch functions, right? You can read your text, you can check the weather, music player, all of that stuff, search your phone. So it's awesome. Obviously, some of the functionality that is where it's reading you all day, that does require the monthly subscription, but some of the functionality doesn't. And then lastly, the organ clock. That looks so cool to me. For those of you familiar with traditional Chinese medicine, you can appreciate, right, that this is actually providing support for the right organ at the right time. So, well, now we have this in the Facebook group, since it was such a great suggestion of yours, me in a mad rush trying to figure out how to get this Zoom call live on Facebook. It's like, do I not have enough technology on at one time? Let's add one more component. But I'm so glad we did it, because I do think this will be cool for people to be able to share with others who, you know, want to be kind of walked through it. You know, not everyone wants to read or go watch their own YouTube videos, you know, so now people can come in here and hear this. And thank you for calling in and sharing your story, your passion for it. It's awesome. It's awesome to hear that. And hopefully for the people that do listen to this, they do realize, you know, they're going to want to go get their Healy. Make sure that you do use the link from whoever referred you to the call. If you just go to Healy and try and buy one, it will let you, but you're just going to get assigned to some random person. And, you know, we don't want that. We want you to be a part of our community. And then you can be in our groups, you know, but more important, you're actually, you know, saying thank you, right, to the person who brought you onto this call. And maybe helping them get another free resonance or whatnot. So please just remember to be mindful and ask them for it. It's just their username, their login, and you simply go to Healy and enter that, and you can, you know, get your device and then come and join us in the groups. So I would open it up for questions, but honestly, it seems like everybody has been chatting away and they've been answered. So thank you to everybody who's been answering them live, real time. So grateful for those of you who pitched in and do that and done that. And obviously, any other questions, that's why we have the groups. So if you think of something later on, you know, feel free to post it in whichever group you're a member of that seems more relevant for your question. And if you're not certain, just post it and we'll redirect you. So I think unless you have something else to add, we're gonna let all these beautiful people go to sleep. I know here on the East Coast it's almost 10 o'clock. So thank y'all to those who hung in with us. It's been amazing to be here with each of you. And thank you, Jamie, for spending your time with us too and sharing this. And I'm excited to see everybody in the groups going forward.